Um, Sorry, I'm a little bit pissed off. I just recorded the video and I thought that it uploaded only for it not to. Well, I tell you what, we're going to try to combine a commentary style mixed with horror. We're going to try to do the commentary and horror, is what I'm trying to say. I've been a lot more happier, and thank goodness for that. I genuinely feel like anything is more achievable and doable now, but I need to get over that mental block that is my brain. It sometimes gets stuck, even whenever we know what to do. But yeah, my bad. I was trying to do a double upload, but unfortunately that video was deleted. Mainly because my PlayStation doesn't have enough storage, which sucks. I know I should do these videos on my PC more, but just there's something that's more efficient about doing it here on my PlayStation more than anything else. So I'm trying to buy an external hard drive so that way it's a lot easier for me to do games, have more storage, mainly for videos, but you gotta work with what you got. Well, without further ado, and sorry for taking up your time if you did not care, let's get into a story. I found bloody tire tracks in my driveway. If we had a normal asphalt driveway, instead of a concrete one, I probably wouldn't have even noticed it. But the bloody tire tracks stood out starkly against the pale concrete. And they were coming so clearly from my vehicle. I froze in place, thinking. The golden light from the garage spilled out from beneath me, illuminating them. They were dark and thick at the end of the driveway, fading to a pale pink as they got to the garage. I must have hit something, I thought, but then I swallowed. I hated hitting animals. In fact, I'd only hit one animal in my life, and it was a squirrel that ran under the tires before I could even blink. The blood was so fresh and dark at the end of the driveway, I must have hit it on our road. I crouched to the ground and my heart pounding, fearing I see the mangled body of some poor raccoon or something, just stuck to my tires. But there was nothing, just the blood. And I walked down to the bottom of the driveway and glanced around, turning on my phone's flashlight, but I didn't see anything. Just the empty street, dotted with cars. Lights glimmering on the houses across the street, and people moving inside as they got ready for dinner. I thought. I looked down at the thick, fresh, shiny blood imprinted on the concrete. Maybe it's pain, or a muddled puddle of discolored water? I finally went inside and, somewhat unnerved, said a quick hi to my husband and started heating up dinner for myself. I watched the bowl twirl in the microwave, but I wasn't relaxed either. The longer I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. My husband and I hit animals before, and we never made tire tracks of blood before. I mean, did a squirrel or raccoon ever have that much blood? Maybe it was a person, an animal, and I pushed through just the thought out of my head. I realized I was overthinking, and I couldn't run someone over without realizing. But my eyes aren't on the road 100% of the time, and I never check my phone. But I have to use the stupid touchscreen to adjust the heat. What if someone ran out while I was adjusting? What if I didn't notice them? What if it was a child and No, 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 no. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed hitting a person. Even if it was a child, it would have been a bump. And my mind just kept spilling, going to dark corners. And I heard, "Are you okay?" Dave asked, walking into the kitchen. I said, "Yeah," I muttered. You've just, your food's been done for a while and you've been staring at the microwave." I told him, "There's blood on my tires for some reason." And his eyebrows raised. "For some reason?" I guess I hit an animal or something, but it couldn't have been far from the house because the blood would have worn off by then. But I didn't see an animal out there. It's just really weird. And even he said it was weird too. We faded into silence and I ate something of what I was eating, but it still bothered me. What if I hit someone and didn't kill them? What if they're crying for help right now, half alive, and they're going to die unless I get them help? Someone else would hear them, right? I would hear them, right? "Give me a second," I said, getting up and walking towards the garage. "Okay, sure." I walked back to the driveway and the blood was still there, shining gold in our outside lights, but duller now as it began to dry. I swallowed. That is a lot of blood, if it is blood at all. Okay, just shut up, get in the car and drive. And I backed out of the driveway and slowly drove down our street. If I did hit something, it wasn't far. And the blood would have worn off the tires before I even pulled into the driveway if it were that far. It had to be somewhere on our street. If it even happened at all. I drove slowly down the street, high beams on, and I scanned every nook and cranny that the headlights barely reached, shadows pulling under cars and a pile of leaves and sticks. I still didn't see anything. Maybe you hit a possum or something, a fox already come by and snatched it for dinner. We did have a lot of foxes. That was mainly that was probably the thing. But then I realized when I see a bloody smear on the road, and the road was dark, so maybe not. Either way, there was nothing there, and I sighed and pulled back into the driveway. "You didn't hit anything," I said to myself. "Everything is okay. Everything's fine." I was so distracted in my own thoughts that I pulled into the driveway crooked, and I put the car in reverse to fix it. But in my backup camera, there was a dark, tangled mess at the end of the driveway. Pale limbs, dark hair, contorted in a way that looked wrong. Dark, shiny liquid seeped from the person's abdomen. What the hell? No, 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 no. I just drove there and it wasn't there. It wasn't. And I blinked and it was gone. I sat there for a moment, shaking, and I put the car in park and slowly crept towards the end of the driveway, peering around the edge of the car, and my legs were weak. I clung to the side of the car like a mountain climber clings to the side of a mountain, and every step felt like I would tumble down and never get up. I got closer and closer, and nothing was there. The driveway was empty, no person, just the same bloody tracks from that tire when I first pulled in. And I leaned against the side of the car, relief flooding me, legs almost giving way in just my imagination. But when I looked, it looked like a woman with white clothes and dark hair, tangled and crumpled, bent unnaturally, in my mind barely able to comprehend what exact position she was in. But I misinterpreted what I saw. Maybe a trash bag or some leaves blew by. And my brain, in this panicked state, said it was a woman who had been ran over. Because I was staring at that spot, the spot where she'd been lying right now. There was absolutely nothing there. And I finally turned around and made my way towards the front of the car. And as I took a step, I saw it. on the concrete clear as day. Hair, a lock of dark hair poking out from underneath the car. And it can't be. I lowered myself inch by inch. It's just a stick. Did grass, something random, and my heart pounded so hard I saw stars. And I leaned down. And I still couldn't see anything underneath the car. I got down on my hands and knees and took a deep breath. I can't do this. Oh God, please let nothing be there. Everything within me shook as I stared at the lock of hair just few inches from my hands. Not sticks, not leaves. Hair. Please, no. I pressed my cheek to the concrete and looked underneath the car. And it was a woman staring back at me, and her hand shot out, just yanked me under. The concrete scraped my back, and that metal chassis of the car bit into me, and she was so damn strong. In seconds, I was staring up at the dark metal underbelly of the car and claws digging into my arm, and I kept screaming. The scream sounded so small underneath that car, and that's when I realized I was alone. The woman was gone, and I was laying flat on my back underneath the car alone. Squelch. I turned, and the concrete painfully scraping my scalp. I could see two pale, blood-soaked feet in the gap between the car and the driveway, like the woman was just there, standing next to the car, and she turned and walked away. Squelch, squelch, squelch. Seconds later, my husband came barreling out of the house. He helped me from under the car, panicked. What happened? He kept asking. But I didn't even have a good answer. I'd almost think I had imagined it if it weren't for the bloody, bare concrete staining. Just the bloody footprints. I realized I jumbled up my words, fading the pink as they meandered into the garage. I don't think I've ever ran over anyone, but how can I know for sure? You know, this reminds me of that Elo Governor episode from Regular Show. Well, I love y'all enough to just say I'm sorry that I'm not able to give you more, but I did make a promise recently to try to wake up a lot earlier than usual. If y'all do love these type of stories, please let me know, and I will continue to keep it up and keep going. In a matter of sorts, that is better than the last video. Genuinely, I am sorry that I haven't been able to keep up with requests due to my own mental decline and just trying to fix that in some regards, and a lot of other things keeping me busy. I'm learning how to enjoy and do life again, and it's nice. Also, I'm sorry that my mic picks up on literally everything from even me smacking my lips or just the faint breathing. Whatever the mic picks up on is whatever at this point. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you sincerely. Don't forget to just like this video and leave a comment. Every little bit does help. In the meantime, adios.